So you are on mute.
One should tell, no? Okay, thanks. Hash map internal implementation moved from linked list to balance set tree. Forgot to one minute. Thank you. I don't know. Okay. Now, fourth one is it's a functional interface. Functional interface. Fifth one is, interface. They have added default and static method. This is done, this is done, this is done. We're going to teach functional interface and interface. And sixth one is, okay, functional interface and interface, they have added this one and Lambda expression. Lambda expression. Seventh one, they have added method reference. Method reference. Eighth one, optional class. I think so. This I already taught you. ForEach. Java 8 ForEach I told you. Is there Java 8 ForEach. Then 10th one, stream API. Okay. Real time, they are using mostly this one they are using, and ForEach, optional, method reference, Lambda expression. I think so, whatever. Yeah, this already anyway internal implementation. You don't have to do anything. This anyway we have to use. Okay, anyway, now you go to the functional interface. We have some other also not required to learn, but you can learn this 10 features is enough. Okay. What is the functional interface? Functional interface is an interface. It contains only one abstract method. It contains only one abstract method. Functional interface. Interface. It contains only one abstract. Abstract. That is nothing but SAM. Single abstract method. It's known called single abstract method. Single abstract method. What does that mean? That means it contains only one abstract method. For example, I want to write a functional interface for my sake. Then you can write a custom functional interface. Right click. Then you can write a public void m1. This is a single abstract method I have. Oh, sorry. I should create interface, right? I have added directly. I'm clicking on. Whenever you're creating interface, you should select here in the code. Okay. This is interface. Then we need to, one more thing, we need to add get the right functional interface and functional interface. Now this functional interface, if you want to add one more method, it's not allowing you. Hey, I'm a functional interface. Why you're adding one more method? If you want to add one more method, you can create a normal interface. Don't create me. This functional interface is telling, see, hello, I'm a functional interface. I have only one abstract method. You can create whatever you want, imply static and default method, but I'm not allowing to create one more abstract method. That is nothing but a SAM, single abstract method.
I have
Go
a
ahead.
doubt.
Doubt. Okay.
So what is the purpose of creating only
I'll
on
tell you.
abstract.
That is, I'm going to. Yeah. What is this? Purpose of this? Using this one, we can achieve the lambda expression. For example, what is the lambda expression? When I'll teach you like lambda expression, that time we can go with what is the use of this one. Lambda expression how to achieve through using functional interface only. That is what actually they have created a functional interface. I think so. I don't know. Who is asking? Sorry. Can you name it? Who
Ilango,
asked?
Ilango.
Mahesh. Huh?
Ilango bani, Ilango.
Elango. Okay. Yeah, Elango. This is actually why they are using this one. Using lambda expression, they want internally, lambda expression internally, they are using functional interface. That's the reason they are adding only one
Okay,
method. I'll gonna teach you, don't worry. That is also. But anyway, good question.
okay.
Okay, I think so. This is what today. What is the today date? 29 or 2. Okay. Now this is the functional. Now again, what is that again? Next feature. Next feature interface have default and static. See, previously we don't have interface have. I told you right. Interface. Okay, maybe that might well teach you one more time interface. Okay. Now previously I taught you what is interface. I given, I think, almost 10 points, right? What is interface? Interface is a fully unimplemented structure, right? Interface is a first point I taught you. Interface is a fully unimplemented and structure. It contains only one type of variable that is public static final or final variable, I can say, cannot change. Final variable. Third point, what I thought you, it does not have constructor, or it we cannot create a object. We can create a reference. And in interface is a fully implemented structure. What does that mean? That means it can allow only unimplemented method or abstract method. It cannot allow implemented method implemented method. Now this is the up to 1.7 or Java 7. Now the entirely definition is changed from Java 8. Now Java 8 is an interface. Interface is previously what I thought you, fully unimplemented section. Now I changed my definition from fully unimplemented to partially implemented and partially unimplemented structure. It contains abstract method as well as default and static methods, as well as default and static methods. Why they're adding default and static method? Because whenever we are using previously what we used in this scenario, for example, when you go for abstract class, when you go for interface, if more than one people want same implementation, then you go for abstract class, because we can write in abstract class, we can write implementation and use it. Now, when to go for interface, more than one people want different implementation. Then you go for interface. Then whenever I want one method is there, all are using that particular method, then I'm extending my class extend this class. My class cannot extend other classes because multiple inheritance does not support the Java. Then they think that why can't we have two more implementation? One is static implementation, second one is default implementation. Default implementation might be you can override. That means implemented class can be override. Class can be override. Static method anyway cannot be override because static method always whatever the first method that is only JVM can see. In the down method or any subclass method cannot see. That's why static method is the common implementation. They can write default method if you want, they can override based on subclass requirement. Subclass requirement. That is the reason they have added. There is three reasons. One is what? Our abstract class, our class extend abstract class, we might or we can't extend other classes. That time what happened? Because of multiple inheritance does not support the Java constructor ambiguity. Now interface they have added one default and static method. What is the advantage? Default method may be based on your scenario, we can change it. Okay, based on scenario, we can change it. And static method. For example, static method through call. No need to create object through call interface also that method. But how to do that? Okay, this is the interface I have created it. Previously, see normal interface, no? You can see public void M1. This is the normal interface. Now it's allowing to abstract method. Now, anyway, implemented method cannot allow. Right? It's not allowing the deep. Then what you need to do? You can add a static. Static is already static method can be allowed.
Method name is same. M1, M1.
Sorry. See, that's what I thought like Java 4 I think I am using Java 5 I thought I was using. But anyway. Public. Okay. Now if you see static method name different, it's using. But previously when you're removing this one, it won't allow. Hello, sir. I'm not able to have an interface. I'm interface. Could you please remove this body? See, it's telling abstract method cannot have a body. That is a one more method they have added. How to call this method? We can use through interface name maybe. Java. Good. Now I want one more method, default method. I'll show you how to do that. Default, while, for example, M3, we can implement. Default methods, how many you want, you can create it. Static method, how many you want, you can create. Okay. Then what is the advantage over this? Now I'll tell you. Now we can create. Maybe some people might ask, right? How many methods we can create? We can create 4, 6. See, multiple default method, multiple static method we can create. But when you calling that time, this you can use this interface and call. For example, I can create one more class name. Interface example interface. Okay, we can write a meaningful. Maybe Java 8. Yeah, example. Yeah, wait, leave it, not an issue. Okay. Now what happened? This is the interface. How to use this interface in your implements interface. At last, you see, it will ask you implement unimplemented methods. See, you need to override this one and this one. Which one? These both are the default method. And M1 anyway, you have a method. Yeah, we can override. See, it's a default method. We can override. That is a default method. We can override. Now, how to call, static method. Static method, how to call? Which class method you can call? Public static, public PSVM you can call. PSVM, public static void method. Through, see, the both are static methods M2. Now we can call M2, then get the interface out. Through interface name only can call directly. Okay, this is not giving any written type. Okay, why written type, right? Maybe what I will do. Okay, anyway, it's not, I don't want to written directly. I can call, then it will anyway print because that interface method is there. Yeah, one method. Now it will see, we can run this application. See, Java example. If you see in interface, see Java example. A Java example, you can type any differentiation you want. Then directly you can call this. Then, okay, this is the one more feature we have completed. What is that? Java functional interface is done, and okay, interface they have added default and static methods. Now Lambda expression. What is Lambda
There
expression?
we have, so
Go
one
ahead.
minute.
Mm-hmm.
We have the default method, right?
Mm-hmm.
How we are calling it same like
Same like
with the
object.
class name dot.
Mm.
But what is the use of the default method?
Default method I
Because
already
we have
told.
a static methods and
No, that's what I told you here. Default method you need to override in your subclass. For example, you are adding something, someone wants different types of implementation. Anyway, if that already basic implementation is there, on top of that, if you want to implement, you can override it. That's the reason it's showing also override. Could you please override whatever the unimplemented methods. That is an
but
advantage.
overall working will be same as that of normal method, correct?
Not normal method, I can say. For example, I don't want to know. Okay, okay, okay. Not normal method. Okay, if you see, this is the default method.
Mm.
It's giving any error. Any error? Okay, maybe I'll run it. Let's example it here. Now, what happened? I have a default implementation. Maybe, okay, maybe I'll tell you in depth. Okay. See, you have a default implementation. Now, what I have? I have 1, 2, 3. I don't want this actually. I am overriding this. I am adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or like 5, 6. See, this kind of implementation, some guys want different implementation, they can override. Some guys don't want, they want only this implementation only. For example, simply I can say I have implementation default card details. What is the card details will be there? We have a username, your name, and CVV ID, and expiry date. This is all same. All cards same. Now your HDFC implements this default this interface, ICICI interface. But if you go into the Axis Bank, there is 6-digit actually card. That time what we need to do, we have to override based on your requirement. That means some people want same implementation they can use. Some people want different implementation they can override. That scenario you go for default. Okay. But if it is same implementation want all people across the interface where they are using, then you go for static method. Through static way, class name you can call it. Okay. I think so makes sense, right? Understand? Or like not? If not, then maybe we can.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, now we can go for lambda expression. I think so. Very less time is there. How much time? Okay. Okay. Now, what is the lambda basically? Lambda is nothing but it's long back actually. They're using lambda expression. Lambda is nothing but you can say this is the lambda, right? This is the lambda actually. They are like they are introduced. I think so. I don't know. Someone introduced this lambda. What this lambda will do basically, we are not using this lambda in Java. Actually, they are calling as a lambda expression this symbol. But history, if you're going to the lambda, right? Lambda is like very powerful. They are using first actually Scala. Now what they are doing, Java people, they are copying from the Scala to Java. They are copied from Scala lambda expression, hide add functions. So many they have added it. But why it's not popular? Because Scala also JVM only internally they are using. Why that is why this is not popular? Basically, it's a less actually users. See, whenever you are a very strong in, for example, one website is there very fast, but users are not there, then it's not becoming popular, right? For example, Amazon is popular because of they have a billions of millions of users is there. But Amazon is very good site. Anyone is not using, then what happens? That business will be shut down. Same thing only. Scala is very powerful compared than Java. They have a all the things actually. They wrote PySpark, Spark and all they wrote in Scala only. But what happened? Less people are users. That means less people are using to develop that application. That's why what they are doing, Scala all copy. Lambda expression, hierarchy function, so functional interface and method reference and higher order functions. So this all copied from the Java. Sorry, Scala. But what is this lambda expression? Lambda expression is basically, it's an expression. It's remove the boilerplate code. What does that mean? What does that mean? Remove the boilerplate code means what? Okay. Now I can write a small example, you guys. Now you can write a one example that is called so that you can understand. Lambda 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 example. Okay. Now we have a one interface, right? Already we know runnable interface. Runnable. Runnable interface. Runnable. Runnable interface. What method is there? Run method is there. And threading I thought is I'm implementing it. Now I want to call this guy. Then I want to call what you are doing. We are doing. We are doing maybe I can say here. You can act as a normal method. You can call this one. See? Okay. I don't want to generate a code here. Okay. Okay. Now run method is called. Now what happened? Run method will call. Call. Now, okay, run method will call. I don't want to call this way using, now this is a functional interface only because it contains only one method. It's a run method. Now I don't want to use this type of calling. For example, I don't want to call this method using this one. Then what we need to do, we can write a one lambda. That lambda have a parameter, only one parameter. That it doesn't have any parameters, right? Any parameters. Then we can call through interface name only. Through interface name. How to call that? For example, then how to, for example, what we are doing, we are calling this method and creating a object. We are implementing it, right? In order to implement this way, we can use directly that interface reference is equal to, then you can use parameterize this one. 1 minute. Guys, give me 1 minute. I'll have a water and come back. Okay, sorry. Now, what I don't want to this guy. Maybe I can. This is the code only. Then I don't want this guy also. Okay. Now I want these two guys. I don't want this also. Maybe instead of removing, I'll comment out the code so that what we removed we'll get to know. Here any implementation is there. Now, what we need to do, we can create a one. What is the functional interface we are planning to implement? Runnable interface. But we can also write our own interface. We already defined, no? Runnable interface. And runnable interface. Yeah. REN equal to, what is the method? That method is this one. What is the method actually? You have a run method. You have to call it. But no need to use this and all. You have to use braces, column, arrow mark, yes out, system.out.println, hi. Now, this how to call this run method. We have a dot run. Now, if you're calling this, what will happen? Indirectly, it will call the run method. It will print the hi. It will print the hi. That means how much code you are removing, how much boilerplate code you are removing. You are removing these 2 lines of code. Instead of these 2 lines, maybe you are adding this line and this line. Now, are you implemented any method? This is 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of code you will be removing this code. And anyway, this code also not required. Again, when you're creating an object through interface only, we are calling. In order to create an object of that particular thing, we create a reference. See, previous code, how many lines of code we have? Previously, we have 15 lines of code is there. Now, how many lines is decreased? Only 3 lines. Okay, maybe okay. Only 6 lines decreased. This is what actual Lambda expression remove the boilerplate code with the help of functional interface. Maybe I don't want this, sir. I want like one method, please write it. And in that have a 1 variable or 2 variable, add functionality. We can write. I can create a one more function interface. Add FEN, add functional interface. Okay. Add functional interface. It contains only one method, that is public void. Okay, maybe void instead of that, I can return it. Okay, enter add. In the add method, I have a int I, comma, int j. Then this is what? My abstract method. What should I do? If you're not adding also, it will take as a considered as a functional interface, but I want to use a functional interface method. Then how to achieve this? Now, your abstract method return type is what? This one. Now what I'll do, I'll write one more. Where is my implementation? Java Lambda expression implementation. I'll uncomment it. Now what? Ignore it. This is the add function return type. This one, what is called? This, this. Now you can add this one. Write it. Okay. Write it. System.out.println. Maybe anyway, this is returning, right? Okay. This is what we need to do. Instead of return, maybe. Let me instead of return, we can return also, no problem. Okay. I want to add two parameters, right? Now I want to add where is that interface? First to find it. I want to add two parameters. The two parameters we can write it. Okay, x comma y. Now I can give x is equal to maybe I can pass it. I need to call this method. I need to pass it. I need to pass means what we need to add here. Here we need to add into x comma to y, two parameters. Now what I need to do here, we can pass x plus y, x plus y, that is add. Okay, maybe you can return type also you can do. Now I want to call this method. Add 10 comma 20. Now what we are doing basically, we are calling this lambda expression with the parameter of 2. Okay, then it will add two values x comma y, and it will print the 30. But what we are writing a one functional interface. That interface contains a add function, then public void add method, two parameters. Previously what happened? Previously runnable have only 0 parameters. We are not giving here any. See, if we are not giving any parameters. Now what is the plan is, we are calling the functional interface method with the two parameters. Then my result should be 10 comma 10 plus 20, how much? 30. 30, right? Okay. This 30 I need to provide. See, 30 is provided. See, this way we wrote own functional interface. We are defining the two parameters and we are adding this. But you don't need to do any your own parameters in real time. You have to use, they will give a list of values. For example, list of integers. You need to define your own interfaces and all, not required because already they defined all the things. Now I want to add some values like, 1 comma 3 comma 7 comma 8 comma 10 12 comma 4. Now this is a list out method I'm using. Out method to iterate the list. Now I want to iterate the list, or I want to filter it. List dot stream dot filter. Filter is an interface. It is a only one abstract method, that is a test method. It return type is true or false. See, predicate. Predicate is what? Function interface. Filter interface, it's internally they're using predicate to test. How to call this predicate? You can use var. Okay. Then you can something you can add in the test method, like val is greater than 2 or 5, all greater than 5, then we'll get dot collect dot to list. That means what I mean to say, list of integer list. Okay. Now what I mean to say, I am another list maybe. Yeah. What I mean to say, I have a list of values. I want to filter it based on the condition. That is the lambda expression. This is nothing but a whatever you have writing here. Where is that function interface? What we are writing this one? This is nothing but this. Where is that example here? Okay, I don't want this one. I can close. I can close. I can close. Okay. Java. This one. See, the whatever I wrote here, right? This is nothing but whatever this. Okay. In the filter, internally we have a predicate interface. Predicate is a functional interface. With the help of lambda expression, we can call this predicate interface internally filter method. It will give the true or false, because if it is a true, more than 5 elements, what is there in that? 7, 9, 12. This output should be 7, 9, 12. This kind of scenario, we can go for, you know, lambda expressions in real time. You don't have to create your own interfaces. You don't have to create your own things. See, now 7, 9, 12 is my output. For example, you have a list of strings, for example, you can say here. Who all are staying in Bangalore? I want the list of, maybe I can write fast it because it's closing. String list list dot of method. First I can go BLR HID. Okay, sorry. See, this is the list. Now I want who all are staying in Bangalore. I want those guys. Then simply you can say start string dot filter val. No problem. Any value. Okay. 1 minute is there. Val dot equals ignore case BLR. Then only BLR people will get collect that to list. Then okay. List 3. What happened? This is not string, no? This is string type, right? Now S out